A set is countable if its elements can be listed in a sequence. A set is uncountable if its elements cannot be listed in a sequence. A function is continuous on an interval if it has no breaks anywhere in that interval. A function is differentiable at a point if it has a well-defined instantaneous rate of change there. A function is integrable on an interval if its total accumulation over that interval can be meaningfully defined. A sequence is Cauchy if its terms eventually get arbitrarily close to each other. A metric space is a set equipped with a distance that satisfies basic distance rules. An open set is a set where every point has a small neighborhood entirely inside the set. A closed set is a set that contains all of its limit points. A limit point is a point that can be approached by points of a set, even if it may not belong to the set. A topological space is a set together with a choice of which subsets are open. A bijection is a function that pairs every input with exactly one output and covers all outputs. A homomorphism is a map that preserves a structure such as an operation. An isomorphism is a structure-preserving map that has a structure-preserving inverse. A group is a set with one operation that satisfies closure, identity, inverses, and associativity. An identity element is an element that leaves other elements unchanged under an operation. An inverse element is an element that undoes another element under an operation. A commutative operation is an operation where changing the order does not change the result. A ring is a set with two operations that generalize addition and multiplication. A field is a ring where division is possible for all non-zero elements. A vector space is a set where you can add vectors and multiply them by scalars with consistent rules. A subspace is a subset of a vector space that is itself a vector space. A linear map is a function between vector spaces that respects addition and scalar multiplication. A kernel is the set of inputs that a linear map sends to the zero vector. An image of a linear map is the set of all outputs the map can produce. A norm is a function that assigns a length to each vector. An inner product is a rule that assigns a number measuring how two vectors relate in direction and size. Orthogonal vectors are vectors whose inner product is zero. A projection is the component of an object along a chosen direction or subspace. A basis is a set of vectors that can represent every vector in a space uniquely. Dimension is the number of vectors needed in a basis. A linear system is a collection of linear equations considered together. A solution set is the set of all solutions that satisfy a given system or condition. Consistency means a system has at least one solution. An inconsistent system is a system that has no solution. An algorithm is deterministic if the same input always leads to the same steps in output. An algorithm is randomized if it uses chance in its steps. A worst-case analysis studies the maximum resources an algorithm might need. A best-case analysis studies the minimum resources an algorithm might need. An average case analysis studies the typical resources an algorithm needs under a distribution of inputs. A decision problem is a problem whose answer is yes or no. A language, in computation, is a set of strings over an alphabet. An alphabet is a finite set of symbols used to form strings. A string is a finite sequence of symbols from an alphabet. A grammar is a set of rules that generate strings in a language. A regular language is a language that can be described by a finite state rule system. A finite automaton is a machine with finitely many states that read symbols one by one. A state is a stored condition of an automaton that summarizes what has been read so far. A transition is a rule that tells how an automaton moves from one state to another when it reads a symbol. Acceptance means an automaton ends in an accepting state after reading a whole string. A proof by contradiction is a proof method that assumes the opposite and derives a contradiction. A proof by induction is a proof method that establishes a statement for a first case and then for the next case assuming it holds before. A necessary condition is something that must be true for a statement to hold. A sufficient condition is something that guarantees a statement is true. An optimization problem is a problem of finding the best value under given constraints. A constraint is a rule that limits which solutions are allowed. A feasible solution is a solution that satisfies all constraints. An objective function is the quantity you want to maximize or minimize in an optimization problem. A local optimum is a feasible solution that is best among nearby feasible solutions. A global optimum is a feasible solution that is best among all feasible solutions.